How's it going, everyone? It's Daikin-san here, bringing you another Granblue Fantasy vs Rising video. And today I want to talk about two mechanics that a lot of people are talking about need to be changed inside of the game. People want these mechanics to be nerfed in some way, and I'm pretty sure you know what two mechanics I'm going to be talking about today. So let's go ahead and get started talking about these two mechanics inside of Granblue Fantasy vs Rising. All right, so in order to talk about these two mechanics today, we gotta be talking about a little bit of frame data. I know that may spook some of you all's frame data, right? But it's not that bad. So we're going to be talking about, of course, 66L and the guard cancel mechanic. So starting off with the 66L, you guys already know about this by now, I'm pretty sure. This mechanic, when you're dashing with your light attack, is going to leave you plus. And this is actually going to be variable as far as how plus it could be. It could go anywhere from 2 to 3. So you see at point blank is 2. If you start to space it out, it starts to go to 3. And if you really space it out, you really get that spacing, you can actually get the 4. There you go. You get the 4, as you can see. So plus 2 to 4 is what it can be. Now, usually at the plus 2 range, this is where characters are going to have access to their close medium attack. So they're going to have access to their close medium attack, which means they have access to a really good starter for their auto combo, which means they could go into their EXs and the combos. Once again, you guys probably all seen it by now. So this mechanic is very strong because it allows you to reestablish pressures in ways that wasn't allowed before. Because you are already scared of this being plus, it allows people to really play around with the frames that they have and really take advantage of it. Plenty of times where you'll see sequences where people go 66L, go into their 5L, which is plus, 6L again, something like this, or maybe they'll just do dash L, dash L, dash L, and then close, and it's like, okay, you seen him do 3, maybe he'll do another one, and you just got dash L to the corner, and then on the third one, he does this, and all of a sudden you're getting counter hit into big damage, right? So this is a very big problem right now with this game, is the fact that the dashing L is covering so much space in a game. Also, when you keep in mind that they took away a lot of hard knockdowns. So we look at some of the special cancels that you see here. You see this doesn't knock down no more. This used to knock up. Fireballs used to knock up, they no longer knock up. So this is the thing. Even your EXDPs no longer do a hard knockdown. As you can see, just quick recoveries. The things that do hard knockdowns now in this game are going to be your sweeps if you do nothing else afterwards. Your actual ultimate skills will actually do hard knockdowns. And of course, our supers are doing hard knockdowns. So being that it seems like the developers tried to make the game go back to neutral more often, it seems like we have gotten away from a lot of hard knockdowns into Oki situations. However, because we have 6L in the game, these things are still prominent more than ever. So if we take this example with Vegeta here, we'll see that she basically does the setup, and with the back tech, and most you can do is basically do like you know, a crouching medium button, which isn't going to lead to much, right? Like on block, if you don't do anything, the best you can do is like special cancel, and that's pretty much the end of her pressure. But now, because we actually have 66L, you can see that she was able to be plus 3 in that situation. And from the plus 3, she can do a lot, right? Because you don't know if she's going to just take her plus frames and go into a button and you just want to block that, or is she going to do it again? And when she does it again, this is where things get scary, because the next one is going to put her in the range of this, and then you're in the mix that we were just talking about. Are they going to do this again? Are they going to go for the button finally? You know, you don't even have to keep doing that. You could go for this. They respect the plus frames. You go for the throw, and you go into it again as a meaty, and you start it all over again. You know, you get the concept by now. You guys have definitely dealt with it in this game by now. But this is the situation that Granblue Fantasy Rising has found itself in. So this is the 6L, but we still have the guard cancel to talk about. Guard cancel, I think, is the secret boss, the thing that people have been sleeping on, because this mechanic is also really nutty, and I think probably needs to be addressed more so than the 66L, in my opinion. So yes, this game does have a guard cancel, and you do it simply by doing the Raging Strike input. So when you do that on block, you actually get a guard cancel. And yes, this does take one of your bravery points away. So we do it again. You'll see I have 3. I do it, and bam, it is 1 gone. So you notice on a regular hit is plus 21. That's still very, very plus, and definitely more than enough to get a 6L up in there. So you definitely got enough time to get that in there. Don't be worried about that. However, on counter hit, you are plus 54, and you did not see that wrong. it is definitely a hard knockdown. So this is going to be a hard knockdown mechanic that is very easy to get on people doing auto combos. So when somebody is doing an auto combo, the second hit of it or the third hit, you can definitely just do this mechanic on, get a hard knockdown situation, and a plus 54. I mean, the choices are endless. You can literally run up and do whatever you want to your opponent. It's like you're playing the original Granblue all over again. However, it does not stop there. It is +6 on block. So as you see, this is something that is also going to be plus on block. So the counterplay is starting to be non-existent here, as you're starting to see. So this is a very strong mechanic because when you're trying to get someone off of you, you're able to do it no matter the risk here, because if on block you're plus, if it hits you're plus 21, if it counter hits you get a hard knockdown and plus 54. Very, very good. So this mechanic right here is very hard to deal with, especially when you're trying to bait it out, right? So you say if you know your opponent is going to try to do this, maybe you're playing an opponent that loves using this mechanic and you have the tools, like you could put something on them and then try to, like, you know, bait it out somehow, like by blocking or something. They're still plus. So if you're playing like a set play character, maybe you're playing Zoe or maybe Matera that could put something on an opponent and then you could quickly block. All of a sudden they do this and then they're plus in your face because you were correct. So that does not seem cool. However, it also, you know, there's also some other things here we could talk about. As you can see, even on spot dodge, he is actually plus. So you block it, he's plus. You spot dodge it, he's plus. And it can vary from like even to plus pretty much, as far as what I can tell from actually doing this in various setups and stuff. So pretty much is going to be a situation where the opponent who is doing this mechanic is going to have the advantage. Once again, you hit him with it, you're plus 20 like something to 54, depending on counter hit. If you block it, +6. If you spot dodge it, they're neutral to like +2. So very, very strong. The only way you can possibly deal with this mechanic without having to actually deal with it is to simply make it whiff. So if your character does have a way to make it whiff, you can punish it that way. So as you can see, Nier can actually punish this in this way. This is something that Nier players have been doing a lot lately because a lot of people have actually been trying to utilize the mechanic on her actual Oki setup. So on the Oki setup, a lot of people are trying to actually guard cancel her off, and that will mitigate the whole mix-up. She will have to spend extra resources. If you watch my other video talking about her, she will have to spend extra resources because you actually do kill death in the process of doing it. However, as you can see, she was still able to punish you because she actually made it whiff. So because you didn't hit her with it, you didn't get the plus frames because you didn't put her in blocks done, and therefore she was able to punish it. So this goes for a lot of characters who can actually try to do this. But thinking about this situation in another light, this mechanic becomes a bit annoying when you think about certain characters that can actually use this to their benefit. You take a matchup like Ladiva and Matera, and you start to see why this could be a bit of a problem, right? So you have Matera who's going to be sitting here zoning you out and stuff, and you're trying to get in, and you're using your health as a resource for Ladiva, and you're trying to work your way in. And the moment you get in, it's your big break, right? It's like, okay, I can start issuing this pressure. However, all of a sudden you get guard canceled, you're minus 54, and they get to run up and do a full Oki setup. And you know, some of these characters like her and Fairy, they also have like set play sequences they could do. So they get to do a set play sequence on you and then back off at their own leisure, and then basically reset the situation when it was your turn to actually get something started, right? So this could be very bad for you, or they could not do anything because they could fear that you do it back to them, right? He's like, oh, I'm just going to do it back. Well, not if they sit back and reset the whole situation, and then you have to work your way in again. Now, it may not seem that bad because they are using their bravery points, and once you get to 1 or below, you start taking 20% extra damage and then 50% extra damage. But when you tackle on just all the stuff that is happening, you know, them having access to the 66L as well, you having to use all, you know, your life and stuff to try to get in, them having access to actual DPs now too, so they, you know, they have access to, they don't even got to use that, they can just spend meter, so the meter thing as well. So it's like you have to worry about them getting you off like at least 3 times, and then worry about at least probably about 2 to 3 DPs per round, because you get about 150 meter, 200 depending on the character if you're really crazy. You know, so it's about 5 to 6 interactions you have to worry about them getting off of you and then going back to their main game plan. So it could be very frustrating to deal with these mechanics at the way and the capacity they are. At the very least, it should not be plus, is what I'm trying to say here. So if it's going to like be this way, it probably shouldn't cause a hard knockdown in the way it does, and it probably shouldn't be plus on block or spot dodge. There need to be some counterplay for characters like this. Like, okay, I know they're going to do it here. There we go, right? So you just know, or it's on this one, you just know at certain points it's going to happen, and there should be some more recovery to where characters like this can at least do something about the mechanic and don't go back to being minus 54 knockdown on the ground. So basically there needs to be some type of counterplay addressed to this mechanic, and yeah, that's just the end of that. And that pretty much covers everything here that I want to talk about today. Once again, we talk about the 6L being plus on block and all the different situations that it covers, as well as being able to stop the game from going back to neutral because of how much distance it covers, and the fact that it can go from +2 to 4. Also being able to, you know, go into your medium auto combos for massive damage output. And of course, we talked about the guard cancel mechanic. The guard cancel mechanic just being something that is extremely good. Just being something that's extremely good on hit. And then of course, if you block it, it's still their turn because of the plus frames. And then of course, if you spot dodge it, it is going to be something that's going to be mostly negative for you. It could vary as far as like how negative it actually be sometimes. But for the most part, it will probably be negative for you, depending on when they actually do it in your block string. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below how you guys feel about these mechanics overall. Do you think they need to be toned down? How do you think they should tone them down? Do you think they do need to be toned down, or do you think they're both all right inside the game as it is? Let me know all of that down in the comments below. As always, like anything I had to say, drop me a like. I greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, follow me on my socials. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you know the next video goes live. As always, my name is Dyken, and I'll see you next time. Signing out.